Welcome to JCE Connect. So in the previous class, we were discussing about the Nirmal Gram Puraskar Yojana, which has been implemented in mm, the 1999, and so from many awards has been given to the good sanitation villages. So now I already said that in 2020, around 1 lakh this Nirmal Gram Puraskar have been given. So rural sanitary mart is a very important um, mm, management facility in the rural areas. Uh, Around 1.05 million schools in the country have been provided with good sanitation facilities, and Anganwadis, around 0.35 million Anganwadis have been given the some of the basic facilities of good by creating the toilets and other things. So one Ecosan latrines is an very effective scheme in some of the areas where you can see that whatever the human excreta will be there, that they are using it for the creating the manure for providing the plants. So these Ecosan latrines are the two chambers are there in during construction of the latrines. So one for collecting the urine and one more for the collecting the fecal materials, that is human excreta. So it will be separated out at that stretch only. So the fecal material is used as manure in the field itself. So the one three yojanas are there. One is uh, Secosan 1, Secosan 2, Secosan 3. So the first one, to develop a regional agenda uh, on sanitation, understand the similarities in the sanitation challenges across the region. The Ecosan is focused on the establishing system for operation and the regional sanitation agenda. The third one, that is proposed to focus on the issue of sustainable sanitation, means if you see the first one, it is to understand what is the sanitation and to create the awareness among the people. That is the first yojana. The second one, it will be focusing on the establishing the system for providing the facilities. Secosan 3 is proposed for development of the sustainable sanitation. So how exactly this can be achieved in the rural sanitation? Whatever the programs have been built up, it is Secosan 1, Secosan 2, Secosan 3 are the programs to empower or to make the good sanitation facilities in the rural areas. So how exactly this can be achieved? So Sikkim has become the first state to achieve 100% rural sanitation coverage, become the first Nirmal Raj in the country. Of course, whatever we are talking about this Nirmal Gram Puraskar, the first award has been given to the Sikkim state, where the 100% rural sanitation has been achieved within the 2 years. In 2001, it has been given. So increase in the Nirmal Gram Puraskar, around 25,000 odd villages have been achieved the total sanitation. 1.05 million toilets have been constructed in the school since 1999. It is the statistics of 2015, but if you see the statistics of 2020, it has been increased by around 25%. Roughly around, it is around 1.45 million toilets. So 0.36 million toilets have been constructed in the Anganwadis. The central government budget for the rural sanitation has increased from 1650 million in 2002 and 3 to 16,500 millions in 2011 and 12. So in Andhra, if you see the one case study, Hajapalli is one village, and Andhra Pradesh is a Gram Panchayat in Farukhabad Nagar, Mandal of Mehboob Nagar district, one of the most backward district in the Andhra Pradesh. Hajipalli, under the leadership of the female Sarpanch, has achieved total sanitation with the access to and the usage of toilets by 100% households in Gram Panchayat become open defecation by 2018. बराता नहीं लेकर बराता नहीं. So this Hajipalli village in Andhra Pradesh uh, has been received the highest award of the state level uh, under the state reward scheme, the Shubham Awards by the government of Andhra Pradesh. It has also received the Nirmal Gram Puraskar from the government of India. So how this sanitation is maintained? The Gram Panchayat could sustain the change achieved with the following activities by uh, with all the in combining with all the stakeholders in the village. Separate school sanitation facilities for boys and girls with running water facility has to be provided. School sanitation and hygiene committee maintains degradable and non-degradable dustbins in the school campus. Of course, whatever we are discussing now, uh, this has to be provided when you say it is 100% sanitation. So in winter, youth club members formed a team for monitoring of open defecation practices and camps fires at the open defecation places by Nigran committee. So cleaning the bushes to prevent open defecation in GP jurisdiction, that is Gram Panchayat jurisdiction, and fixing the lights in the open defecation area. So notices issued by the Gram Panchayat Water and Sanitation Committee during the fairs and festivals. Guests are not allowed to go outside for defecation. Rs 5000 penalty has been given or imposed for the family if anybody goes outside the defecation. Visits by many officials, elected representatives of the other villages and the districts have also motivated the Gram Panchayat to maintain the streets. So some of the issues related to this urban sanitations are, one thing is the poor awareness, poor institutional arrangements, means um, gaps and overlaps in the institutional roles and the responsibility at national, state and city level has to be monitored. So lack of integrated citywide approach. If you see, um, in some city areas it is good and in some city areas it is not good. So wherever the good is there, so it has to be reached to that states. So sanitation investments are done in a piecemeal manner to do not take into the account of the full cycle of the safe confinement, treatment and disposal. Means that has to be reached to the people. So reaching to the urban poor people, So lack of demand responsiveness. So these are some of the issues related to the urban sanitation. So national urban sanitation policy, of course, it involves the awareness generation, making the open defecation free cities, integrated city-wise sanitation, of course, strengthening the national, state, and the local level institutions to accord the priority to sanitation, provision including the proper planning, implementation, and management. So all this can be done in the national level. Of course, many initiatives has been given, and around equal distribution has been made for all these uh, programs. So what exactly the role of government is? So it has been categorized into three levels. One is national level, and one more is state level, and urban local bodies. So it all involves and it comes to a national level, generating the awareness, providing the fund and assistance, uh, national level monitoring for all the bodies. So mainstreaming sanitation into urban infrastructure and housing. And when it comes to the state level, whatever the guidelines given by the national level, that has to be implemented properly in the state levels, um, for all taluks and all villages and all district places. So resolving the issues of tenure and space for providing the sanitation to urban poor, capacity building and training, monitoring and evaluation at the city level, preparing the city sanitation plans and planning for financing and schemes. So all the things, major thing is that creating the awareness and providing the funds for all the doing the activities. And one thing is um, maintenance and follow up has to be made in all levels. Many methods are there, of course urban sanitation methods are there. So how exactly this can be made it? If you see it, sometimes we have seen the Ecosan 1, Ecosan 2, Ecosan 3. They're all good sanitation facilities which has been implemented in the urban as well as the rural places. And the DWAT system, of course, it is based on the mechanical and biological wastewater treatment plant. This treatment system, which provides the sedimentation followed by the primary treatment in the settled septic tanks. If you see the septic tank system in your all houses, that itself is a DWAT system. It is a part of that DWAT system. So if you see the septic tank where uh, um, whatever the human fecal matter will be there, that is digested, and once it is digested, it can be made with the pure from the um, whatever the fecal matter which is present in the human excreta. So this involves the anaerobic system. Anaerobic means which does not require the oxygen, means it cannot be opened. It if you see the septic tank systems, it is always a closed chamber where the anaerobic bacteria will be active compared to the aerobic bacteria. So this anaerobic bacteria is going to digest, it will take that as a food for the digestion process, and it will multiply their bacteria, their growth. So then once it is digested, normally the energy of that human excreta is going to lose. So then once it is come out from the septic tank, so it is like treated uh, water that can be disposed to any water system or any land systems. So if you see the case study, the same some of the um, normally if you take the urban slum dwellers is one case study from the Tiruchinapalli. um, this urban slum dwellers case has been taken for how exactly this has been implemented in the case good sanitation facilities, how these urban slum dwellers play and very important role in creating the good sanitation facilities in most of the cities. Of course, these are implemented in the rural places other than the urban places. The Tiruchirappalli model of the community managed toilets with the bathing and washing facilities is an example of partnership of sensitive city authorities, communities, NGOs working together to address these problems. So Tiruchirappalli, located in Tamil Nadu, uh, so it has a population of around 7,50,000, of which 23% live in 211 approved and 75 unapproved slums. So this sanitation coverage is reported at 70% with many households using septic tanks due to low coverage of underground drainage, less than quarter of the households connected. There are 339 community toilets in the city, around half of which are now managed by the communities. Means whatever this case study is there, whatever the good sanitation facilities has been maintained by the urban community, not by any government authorities. So means um, how exactly this has been managed in this city. So urban dwellers is nothing but whatever the um, requirements for giving the good sanitation facilities, that has to be made by the urban community, not by the government body. So that is why they are all called, whatever the community peoples are there, they are, we can call it as urban dwellers. So human action for the village empowerment communities is also reported in that scheme. So the whatever the uh, schemes developed by maintaining the urban community, the first one, that is improved clean environment access to the toilet. This is the one initiative is given by that urban dwellers. So hygiene and health environment. Third one is women empowerment, opportunities for the employment in this uh, action plan. So then if you see the which are the stakeholders in the community managed toilets. So first one is, of course, the city corporation, it will be there. If you see the Tiruchirappalli state, the of course the initiative will be coming from the corporations, but mainly it has been involved in the community based levels. So then uh, ward councillors will be there. Then so gramalayas, so then waves monitors will be there to implement strictly in this mm, scheme. So some of many benefits are like health benefits that we already discussed, health benefits, environment, economic empowerment. So that are all benefits which has been created in that Tiruchirappalli case study. So if you see the recommendation, finally what can be concluded from this, whatever the urban smell dwellers. So the cost effective option should be explored for the urban rural sanitation and the urban, just like the case of Tiruchirappalli. So awareness program should be done for school sanitations. So still it is going well. So provision of a safe drinking water. So community based solution should be adopted to like community led total sanitation facilities. So this is about the total, how exactly the status in India, how exactly they are going to do it um, in most of our Karnataka state, and we have considered how exactly the urban dwellers are going to take part in the community based mm, improving good sanitation facilities. So maybe in the further classes um, we'll start with some of the very important aspects of this first chapter. Um, in that we will discuss about some of the very important terminologies normally we'll use it in our regular classes. um, how exactly the the sewers can be designed, how exactly the rain water can be included in the sewers, how exactly it can be designed, that we'll discuss in detail in the next classes. So normally in this whatever we have discussed in the two um, last 2 to 3 classes, so they may ask what will be the importance of sanitation, what will be the need of sanitation, and how exactly these are implemented in the India. So I have to discuss all this Nirmal Gram Puraskar, how exactly it has been achieved in most of the uh, countries. Okay, we'll discuss in the next class. Thank you.